Hello and welcome back to Remembering Tuscola. I'm David Porter. I'm here with Captain Mike Carroll
Arg.
and got Alan Michener and Bob Taylor and we had William Tell, but after
Bill missed the apple.
yeah after the accident we sent him packing.
Mhm.
So there's a song, you can look it up on the internet, called "You're the One-Eyed Love."
Would I?
What's that?
Remember this joke, would I?
I thought it was the one-eyed purple
Peg
people
leg.
eater.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. I tell them everybody I had an eye procedure today and they had to do some extra stuff and they told me to close the left eye and so this is I can't keep an eye closed.
So either Mike will do better on his identifications or he'll do half as well. We'll see.
That's right. That's right.
Screen here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ingo's not here. Ingo's on I think they got Bob, is there they got a tournament today or Tuscola's playing somebody today?
Yeah, I don't know about a tournament, but I do they have their first golf match today.
That's it. And Bill's helping. I think he's got a couple of guys he's helping with their game. Bill's very knowledgeable golfer about the golf swing. We can't do it anymore. We just know we should do it.
You know how you're supposed
That's
to.
exactly right.
That's right.
I can't shoot a basketball anymore, but I could tell.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Well, speaking of basketball, we've got some good pictures coming up. Since I'm a little crunched for time, we'll just
Sure. Mitch and I agreed to keep it down.
Yeah.
just get to it.
It's like one or two stories.
It'll be fine.
Just for me. How about you, Mitch and Bob? One or two?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Mike, you probably should get all those.
Bob's got them all.
No, Mike's got.
Well, I'm one-eyed. They're kind of blurry.
Well, I don't.
Man, I don't.
I'm not.
Some of the names people have found online could be Sarah Romine, back row, second from right.
Is there a summer lot in there?
Yeah. The last one there on the top row on the left, that looks like Debbie Summerlot.
Yeah, the youngest summer lot. Yeah, Faye. Debbie.
Right.
Ann Bundy Lockhart, second from left on top. And Carol Schroet says Becky Alexander. Not sure which one.
I don't think so. She's probably thinking of her, but
I'm not seeing that.
that's not Becky.
I don't think so either.
Bonnie Janice, seven from right on the top.
What is this, the 70s, mid-70s?
1962.
That's what
Oh, 62.
Well, that's not Debbie Summerlot then. This is that's our freshman year, guys. These are grade school kids. Our freshman year, these are grade schoolers. Maybe Becky is there as an 8th grader.
I don't think so.
Well,
that looks like Carol Chaplin.
It does.
Chapman.
Yeah.
The fourth from the left
On the top row.
on the top row looks like
sure
Carol.
does.
Looks
Well, she'd been 8th grader.
that'd been about right. Yeah.
These were 8th graders, and so Becky Alexander could be there, but I don't see her.
No.
Yeah, I think they thought that little blonde right there in the middle was Becky, but that's not Becky.
No.
That's Deanna Ziegler. The one right next to the little blonde, that's Deanna Ziegler.
Yeah. Okay.
And she was a class of 69. I just noticed.
Well,
so they would all been about that same age, I would thought.
this is 62. These are 6th graders then.
Could be because
could be different grades.
Yeah.
That looks like a Wilhelm right there.
Yes, it does. That's what I thought too.
And is that go back down the bottom row, 4th one in, is that the Stroll, Darla?
Looks like, yeah, it does. It looks a little bit like her. Kenny Stroll's younger sister.
Younger sister.
Yeah. Well, we didn't do bad. When
You
I
got
first
Villa
saw that
Grove.
picture, I didn't think I knew any of them, but I think,
Oh, this might be Villa Grove or something.
yeah,
About 4. Oh, here we go.
yeah, we're getting closer.
I see the Dumas girls.
Yeah.
The
Both of
Dumas
them.
girls, and the one on the very far left is that Fredericks
Fredericks and then Lindsay.
and
William
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the one in the middle is Donald. The tallest one's Donald's.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, Lindsay was a class ahead of us, 60. So they would have been sophomores, and Fredericks were both
Right.
sophomores.
right. Well, and the one Dumas girl was in our class, the one in the plaid dress, and
That's Julie.
that's
and
Julie, and then the sister who was a year ahead of us, I guess.
Debbie.
Debbie,
Right.
was that right? That could be.
Yeah.
Now, third from right looks like John McDaniel's wife, Meyer, Ruth Ann. But I don't know if she went to Tuscola or Atwood.
Yeah, it does look like her, but I don't know.
I think they went to Tuscola, didn't they?
Well, Everett lived over in Atwood for a while. Maybe that was after she was out of school.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. He did.
Kevin Connor thinks the second from the left might be Gene Waters, but Gene has not responded.
Well,
No,
that's
that's not Gene.
That's Jeanette Lindsay, class of
That-
60.
Okay.
Right.
And that's Fredericks. I forget her first name. She's red-haired gal.
Shirley.
K. Fredericks, wasn't it?
Marine
Shirley-
Dealer says
Shirley
Shirley
Frederick.
Frederick.
Shirley Fredericks. Yeah, that's right.
Wow. Have you guys
Small
seen these?
gal.
I haven't seen any of these. Have you guys seen them?
No.
I just glanced. I didn't really study any of them
It's
because
more-
I didn't
it's more-
think I knew any of them.
It's more fun to be hit cold. Well, these have got to be like, if we're freshmen, these have got to be like 4th or 5th graders or something.
I got a bunch of names on these.
These have got to be,
Yeah.
these are 71, 72 graduates.
I don't
Jane
work-
Mason Jones says top row left, right to left. Carolyn Ziegler, Debbie Jolly, Jan Dietrich, Vicky Griever, Tanya Sally, Barbara Trueblood, question mark, Levon Donnelly, Jean Waters, Debbie Flock, Jane Mason, front row, right to left, Karen Poley, Phyllis Holland, question mark, Susan Betzold, Nancy Wade, Leslie Harris, question mark, Vandy Dickey, Marcia Wright, and Libby Sodero.
That's who we had.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't, none of those at
Yeah,
all.
Vicky Sodero. What class would this be? These have got to be 4th graders, 5th graders in 62.
Has to be.
I didn't remember any Soderos past the boy. There was a boy that was a year younger than us,
Yeah, Bobby.
Bobby Sodero. But then I didn't remember. I thought he was the youngest of all them.
It's a Sodero. Am I looking at the bottom right? Looks like a Sodero, not the bottom left.
Yeah, sometimes some of the people online will say left, and on my end it's on the right. So I don't know if they're reversed on some people.
Doesn't she look like a Sodero down there on the right, lower right?
I would say more so than on the left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not even close.
But that one they said was Gene Waters. Didn't look like Gene Waters to me.
Well, this is Gene there.
Okay.
Well,
they
Gene's
went
the fourth
They
one.
went the other, so they did go the other way.
So
But
you're
if
saying
you
it's
go-
Yeah.
Gene's
left-
the
When we're looking at it, if you go from right to left, the third one from the right is, I think that's Gene.
right, right. Because the third one from the left is not Gene.
No.
No.
so you're saying it's left to right, not right to left.
We're looking, she's got pigtails, third from the right on the top row, pigtails is Gene Waters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you must transpose them, or either that or my eyes have switched.
Well, I don't know. It's the way you're seeing is the way I'm seeing it online, because I've got it up online as well. I'm looking at two different screens.
So,
What was Gene, 72, 73, graduated?
mm,
Phil did. Phil's about 73, I think, 72. I don't know where Gene was.
Gene's older than Phil.
So she might be 71 or 70 even. 70.
No,
Not that.
Phil's
not that.
73.
I thought she was Miss Illinois in 74, but I don't remember for sure.
Yeah. So they're probably what, 6 years older than us or younger than us right here.
Yeah.
6.
I'd say that's right, at
Did you
least.
find it, Beck? What do you need, a pin? Becky's lost her ticket to the play. She's leaving.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Well, I'm no good. Did I stick it in my eye? Was it in, you think it's in the car somewhere? That's okay. You want Mitch and Bob to come help look for it?
Yeah.
You better be nice to her, Mike. You'll have 2 eye patches.
We got good news. You found it.
All right.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. We like that. We're used to that.
Mhm.
It's fine. That's that shows everybody we're not scripted.
Well, Lord help us if we were.
Yeah.
It's horrible for scripted.
I don't have any names on this one.
No.
I can't give you one.
For the young people in the audience, that is a telephone in the back.
And an ashtray on the left.
Yeah, it's a telephone,
Ashtray.
and it's a telephone with no dial, if you've
That's
noticed.
Right.
That's
I
right.
did notice that. No
Remember to-
dial.
733, please.
Mm-hmm.
And that's almost identical to one of my ashtrays.
Oh, yeah. Boy, those are hard to find. You don't find those anymore.
Those are good for cigar smokers.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine has like a Saluki on the top.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, that's-
Yeah.
Mitch would like to have that one.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Oh,
Mary.
I knew some of these, and I thought you guys will too when I dig the names. From left to right is
Mayor
Fred Jones, the old mayor, and that is Wendell Schrader's wife. I can't remember what her first name was.
This is Schrader.
Yeah, and then I don't know, guy in the middle, Mabry Bass is
Yeah.
the lady in the black, and
Carlson.
Ray Carlson on the right.
Yeah.
And here again, the online they've got them reversed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it online, and it's Ray Carlson's on the right, and
Yeah.
Carroll's got him on the left. So I don't know what's going on with Facebook.
Yeah.
Lived out here where Mike Rogers lives in El Wetzel in that Bass house, but
Yes.
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 we wanted to build a golf course and we wanted to find a couple hundred acres. I told the mayor asked me to do it. And I said, you got to give me at least 3 options. And the first 2 wanted about 3 times the price of land. And I can't blame them, they got us Tuscola. But Mabry Bass family said they sell to us for the value of the property plus the capital gains tax plus a little boot of $500. So we got this land out for about 1.5 times.
Well, that's pretty good.
And she had a daughter out in Kansas, and forget what her name was. And Steve, I think, was her son. They were
Steve and Ed. There was an Ed Bass and a Steve Bass,
rural.
and I think Carroll was her name.
Carolyn Bass, maybe.
Carroll Bass, yeah.
They were very great to work with, and we certainly appreciate the Bass family for being reasonable.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
I don't know.
It's like that's not Gear from Bella Grove, is it?
I don't.
No,
I don't think
you
so.
talking about Russ?
Russ,
No, that's not Russ.
I don't think it is. It just looks a little bit like it.
I worked with him enough there at the courthouse that I knew him, but
Okay.
Eric Fromm says it's George and Etta Braun.
I didn't know them.
Carolyn Boland Grant says they're her great grandparents.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I did not have a name on this one.
No.
No. Brownie. It's a brownie.
Mhm.
There's Mrs. Carlson, Betty Carlson on the left.
Yep, that's right. And there's Patty Waters, I think.
Betty right behind her on the shoulder.
Yeah.
I think.
I think that. And then that other the little shorter lady in the black, isn't that Mrs. Lamb from Brookside?
I don't think that's Doris Lamb.
Okay.
I don't think that's Jim and Mary Kay. Mary Kay Lamb.
Mary Kay, yeah.
I don't think that's Mary Kay. Could be.
Okay. That's who when I first saw it, I thought that's who it might have been. This gal used to be involved,
Well, she's real, I think that gal has been involved in a bunch of DAR, SAR
yeah.
kind of stuff, but I can't think of her name right now.
You know, that looks like Jim Donnelly's wife, but if it is or not.
Julie Muncie says, thinks that's her mom, Janine Fortney, front row, first on the right. Keeping in mind that some of these IDs are backwards.
Well, but I think that might be right. That'd be,
Phyllis.
Phyllis Tritt's mom.
No.
That's a
Jane-
good possibility. That's her.
Jane Kappa says, her mom, Norma Phillips, last one, top right. Next, up,
Yes.
Brenda Stanberry.
Well,
Oh, yeah, it is.
The third one almost looks like Olive Carnine, but I don't think she was
No.
a member of anything.
This is the same one we just had.
yeah,
Yes.
that's the Ron.
That's been a different negative.
Well, there's Sheriff.
Is that Gene Miller?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who his deputy is there. Or
I don't know either.
Fonzie.
Fonzie.
and it's Larry Fonz.
So is this in the old sheriff's office?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And right there's our 911 system, a phone call and a mic.
Yeah, that's right.
Microphone,
That
yeah.
was the entire system right there.
And now that might be a dial
That
phone.
is a dial phone.
Well, that's no
It's
money was,
got buttons too, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, different lines probably.
no money was spared for the county police department.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, that's Bob Wyatt.
Yes, it
That's,
is.
Yeah.
that's me just off his elbow. And Fortney.
Yeah.
It is. I see Murray,
Murray and Rumley right there.
Rumley's head.
There's
There's
Murray, David Gardner, Gene Murray, Rumley, Louis Leeds, Fortney, me, and Bob Wyatt. And over to the right, you can barely
Is that
see,
Roger Wynn.
that's John Gernon.
John Gernon?
Just see where the trophy is, go down, there's a head, and to the right of the head is John Gernon, and there's Roger Wynn in the back,
Yeah,
and
that is
Peter
right.
Wilson next to him underneath the trophy.
Who do you think that is?
Yeah.
I think that's John Gernon to the right, and Roger Wynn is on the edge of the trophy corner.
Who's the one underneath the trophy? Isn't
Mary
that
Ann
Jerry,
Curley.
isn't that Jerry Wright?
Mary Ann Curley, is that right? Not Wilson?
Yes, yes.
And yeah.
Yep.
This might be when we won the
That was a regional.
we won the regional in 1962.
Beat Arcola, right?
We had to beat, and it was the first time in 29 years we'd won the regional because Mattoon was a one school system. Never could beat Mattoon. We beat Mattoon that year with I think Atkinson, Bill Atkinson came off the bench and hit a jump shot and beat him. And then we played the powerful Arcola team for the finals. And I think Don Fortney made Alexander Thrimov only made a layup as the horn went off. That's the famous game where, I don't know if you guys remember, Arcola's still mad about it. Supposedly the horn went off like the game.
There's Schrader and Lineberger.
Mm-hmm.
And they put 3 seconds back on the clock and they threw it. Eddie dribbled 5 times, threw it Don. Don laid up. And to this day, the Arcola guys say, come on, 3 seconds. I don't know. Maybe Hastings was the timekeeper. Yeah. There he is again.
Yep. We don't know who that is.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, this is
Alexander's 22. Manwaring's 30.
I'm on the right, 40.
You're on the right.
Bob Wyatt, this is a center jump.
Yeah.
This is Arcola and 23.
He's on the left, right?
That's that looks like Don on the left. Jimmy Manwaring was the only senior, was Jim Manwaring. And I think jumping for Arcola was Monahan, Jim Monahan, and 23 was
Clark, Corky Clark.
would have been Corky Clark. That looked like Corky. Terry Miller's in there somewhere. Look at the stands. We got them full.
Yeah.
Arcola.
You're gonna know some of those girls, Mike.
Well, I didn't do real well with Arcola girls, unlike Deaver.
Is that Jack Williams on the left, far left?
Sure. Well, our
I think it is.
Our principal back then he was a principal, not the superintendent at the time. What was he, grade school principal?
Well, he wasn't ever high school. I know he wasn't high school principal.
Whalen was our freshman year, was Charlie Whalen, wasn't he?
Yeah,
And then Jack Robertson came in.
right.
Sophomore.
After that. He was there for the next 3 years when our sophomore, junior, and senior year was Robinson.
Happy Jack.
Donna Smith says Diana Bosiger Pilson on the left.
Well, that's Dan Pilson's wife. Remember Dan Pilson played ball for Arcola back in '59, had the dealership in Mattoon, and that's hey Becky.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that either.
Dan Pilson, remember Diane?
Susie Bowers Mass, third from left. Barb Clark and Colette Portugal in the stands.
Well, Colette was the older Portugal girl. I had a date with her younger sister, Mary Kay, who wound up marrying the president of the university down Eastern. What was his name? Becky's playing dumb.
Barb Clark worked for us at Montgomery Ward store.
Oh, I remember who she was.
Who did Jimbo Allen marry? He married a Clark, didn't he? Barb, didn't he marry a? Okay, Terry Miller throwing the ball.
Yep.
Clark.
Corky Clark.
Yeah. Jim Monahan.
I think 25 might be, I don't know, Viverberg, but 13 is Walton, Sam Walton.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure about 25. I know Viverberg played.
Yeah.
Started for him. Corky looks good, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Janet Akers says Bob Harshbarger.
Oh, it could be. I'm not sure about. Monahan wound up being a captain of Notre Dame's basketball team in '68.
Yeah.
Those guys were good.
Yes, they were.
In fact, the next year, our sophomore year, they went to the Sweet 16 and got beat by, I think, Stephen Decatur up at Bloomington at ISU. Or the Final Eight. I'm not sure it's the Final Eight or Sweet 16.
Well, now there's a neat scoreboard.
Well, we won by 1 point. Fortney's layup. And Fortney was just a freshman in that game. Bob, I was going to ask you about this. There's Rumbly, and there's Rumbly with Wyatt Alexander, and I'm on the left, and Don's just left of me.
I think
That's Eddie Alexander right there.
Eddie's
all right, Mike.
Yeah.
Look to the left of Rumley, and there's a guy that's got a dark shirt or something on with his head turned to the right. Looks like Jimmy Bailey. Oops.
With the leather jacket on?
Not
No.
with the jacket.
No, not with the jacket.
Farther left.
Farther left, it looked like a flat top haircut,
Yeah.
sort of. Oh no, that one's different.
Yeah,
That looks
right
like
there,
Jimmy
the
Bailey.
white collar. That's either
Yeah.
Barnett or Bailey.
Yeah.
And it looks like Ronnie Cooper on their side. There's David Gardner again.
Yeah. See Bob Stout.
Yeah, Bobby. I was going to ask you, Bobby, since you've coached all these Tuscola guys, and I know that the case could be made that the what's his name playing for Loyola now or
Oh,
DePaul
Jalen.
could be
He's a great now.
Bonnie Payne.
could be considered the best basketball player of all time. Of course, Corky Waters could too, but Fortney, went on to Regis College in Colorado. He's All-American 3 years, Hall of Fame, and he got a tryout with the Bulls in '68. And he got a tryout for the Olympics team in '68. So a good case could be made. Don was maybe our best basketball player of all time.
Mike,
Hard to tell.
any number of people have asked that question,
Mhm.
and there's no way you could compare.
Well,
Things are so different.
In fact, I asked Don, I talked to him about a couple months ago, and we were talking about that. They inducted him in the Hall of Fame. He's really proud of that. But I said, Don, he scored like almost 2,000 points at Regis. And I said, Don, were you a 3-point shooter? He said, I was a junk guy. He said, I got rebounds and just junked it in, got fouled a lot. That's how he played in high school. He's big and strong.
Sure.
He would fake it, and then he'd get fouled and get a free throw. But Don was a great
There's something to be said too about, the 1,000-point scorers prior to the 3-point line.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You know.
Don and I both, I think Bob Wyatt had the scoring record his senior year. I got the scoring record my junior year, and then Don beat me his senior year.
Right.
All three of us were 1,000 points.
Yeah.
But
And then, you know, you had Rudy Huber in there and some of those guys.
oh, that's what Spook says. That's what Dietrich says. He says, I made 1,000 points playing with Surma and Huber. He said,
Yeah.
but I think the guy that really stands out is 1949. Corky had over 1,000. Can you imagine that?
Yes, I know it.
They played fewer games, no 3-point line.
Right. Yeah, because we're playing 30 games a year now.
Yeah, we played about 22, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
I played basketball for 6 years and I racked up 0 points.
That's still, David, that's still a record.
It's still a record. Nobody can beat it.
Oh, that's when it used to flood.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. I remember floating down that on a inner tube.
Yeah, we'd swim in the ditches.
Yeah, that's right there.
Yeah.
That was long before the day. Well, Kahneman's, the Kahneman's building there is on your left.
Yeah.
And that was long before Four Seasons was ever built.
Now, how did they solve it? I know they cleared the ditch back 20 years ago, but did that solve it? Clearing the ditch out because it was full of trees.
It helped a lot. You know, it was full of trees and stuff. And once they dredged that out, and that'll happen again because I think there's a further picture on down here about the flooding on Washington Street.
Yes.
And it's all coming out of that same ditch.
Well, actually, it was worse than this. I think you can see that it's probably gone down some here, but.
Well, I remember when it was just about ready to run in the Ford garage.
Well, it did. I think it did.
Had it.
Even when Mooney was there back when we opened the mall in 94, we had that 6-8 inch rain. It got in Mooney's.
Yeah.
So where Allison's is, what is there now?
It was Jimmy Clark.
Edward Jones.
Okay. So this is looking west.
Right.
Yes, looking west. So
What's
you're standing just about in front of the new bank, whatever that is.
Yeah, the Newman
Yeah.
Longview
Bank. If you're standing about in front of the Longview Bank looking west.
I think the water's gone down a foot or two because it was
Yes.
all the way down. And I think that in 97, when the mall opened, they had flooded again. That's when the Mr. Fry drove off into the river and died.
In 97?
That's when they opened the mall.
Yeah. No, 94.
94.
94.
94. But
we were meeting with the mall people. Well, you could tell we were raring to go.
Yeah.
Jimmy Mann, if you guys don't mind, Jimmy Manwaring on the left was the only senior, and he wound up being, they consider the world's leading expert in potable water out in.
Mhm.
He got an engineering works. Eddie looks like he's ready to fight. Eddie always looked like that. Bob was a scholar, gentleman. He went on to Indiana. Didn't he work for DuPont? He got a real good job at DuPont and died of cancer. Look at Don, just a freshman. I was a freshman too, but I was skinny as a rail. Don was a grown man his freshman year.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
And I looked like I was had bulimia or something.
I included two of the same shot here so you could see the crowd. I didn't know if we'd recognize anybody. Maybe too dark, blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing,
This was a great picture, though.
yeah, the good bad thing about back then was for people who played basketball or football, there was the only sports. Nowadays, there's Alan Jones on the right to the right of me with a plaid shirt and glasses. Alan Jones and Albin, I think. Dale Albin.
It looks like it
Yeah.
could be. Yeah.
Right.
Is that Rick Gibson, Hooters in the white shirt?
Looks like who? Yeah. Okay.
Well, you guys' eyes are better than mine.
Yeah.
I sure
It
can't
does
see
look
that.
like him.
I've only got one.
Yeah, and Mike's only got one eye. Yeah.
Look at Eddie, though. Eddie was always ready to rock and roll.
Mr.
Mr.
Dumas.
Dumas. Yep.
Yes.
I don't know the lady, but
Yeah, I don't either.
he would have. But that probably at that time frame, he was probably running the Woolworth store, the Five and Dime,
Somebody-
before he got into before he got the liquor store business.
somebody won some money.
You know, he was really the right person to have Tuscola's first liquor store for a lot of years, because, you know, he was pretty smart in that he would close the liquor store at 9 o'clock at night because all the trouble came after 9 o'clock at night. So he would be open all day and then close by 9 o'clock. And I thought that was pretty wise.
You know,
I'm sure he gave up some sales, but you know,
Tuscola was famously dry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
68 or 69 or 70, and that's why we had all the clubs. That's why we had all those fraternity clubs, fraternal.
Yeah, yep. Okay, there's the Washington Street picture there. You're standing just about in front of the CIPS office. That's the old Ag Extension building there. That I didn't remember. It said Pittsburgh. I don't know who had that Pittsburgh paint store. But that was the Ag Extension building looking back.
Doc Smith's vet clinic was a white building.
Yeah, well, no, that was old the Weatherford House.
Oh, was the third one, the gray
Doc's, yeah, on down would be.
one? Yeah, it's a dark gray.
Yeah, because that White House was Brucey Weatherford's mom and dad.
Yeah, Bruce is just down the block. So the Pittsburgh plate thing is Buford's Pub now.
Yes,
Correct.
Warrior Pub. Yeah,
I think it was
You've
even,
got
but it was worse than this, wasn't it, when it got really bad?
well, I could always tell if if we were having a lot of rain. If I mean, this is in the last 10 or 15 years. If I go down there, and if it's coming out of that ditch, then it's going to flood
Well,
everywhere.
that's why we opened the mall, I think, in 97. So we were working on it back in 94, 95, but the mall officials flew out from Rothschild Realty because we'd had about a 2 or 3 inch rain that week and the sewers were backing up at the mall. It's kind of low out there at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And we were figuring out whether to put in backflow preventer, grinder pumps and stuff, how to solve it. We met at Liga's down here, and from 11 o'clock until 2 o'clock, it poured and rained about 6 inches. We couldn't even get to our cars out in the parking lot.
No.
We told them it doesn't get that bad. And then it wound up, I think that's when, what's his name, drove off.
Now that White House is where the Dairy Queen building was.
Yes. That was Chop Rice owned that one, I think, didn't he?
Could have been, because he owned he owned the Ford garage. So
On the right looks like a 57 Ford Fairlane 500.
yeah.
Could be 58.
There are Cola cheerleaders.
one of them is Mary John's Baird. Donna Smith says Mary Bright, Diana Baltziger, Susie Bowers, ? Billie Jean Arthur.
Billie Jean married Corky Clark, I think.
Which one did you think was Mary Baird?
I think it's the fourth one back.
Didn't say which.
Would you say the fourth one back?
Okay.
Yeah, could be. I don't.
Yeah. Just going by what people commented. No comments on this one. You can see the depot in the back.
Yeah. That'd be right about in front of the Journal office.
Yeah. This would be North Central Street. Kind of neat picture. I'm surprised no one's identified it.
Mm-mm.
There he is.
Runway.
Don Rumley, Bucko over on the right, isn't it?
All right.
That's
That
Murray.
Murray? Oh, that's Murray. Yeah.
Murray, yeah.
Now, I remember what he said that night. You guys remember this, but we won that regional in 62 and only one school system, remember?
Mhm.
We went to Decatur and Kentner played Bloomington High School, which was bigger than Tuscola almost. And during the game, I hate to take time to tell this, but it's a great story. Don and I were playing pretty good, and we were still in the game till second half, and then all of a sudden, Brumley jerked me out of the game. And I don't know why, because Eddie was starting to fire him up and miss everything, and Don and I were doing okay. So he pulled me to the bench, And I looked at him and I started to say, why'd you take me out instead of Eddie? Because he's not hitting the side of the barn. What? Bye, honey.
Oh.
And so about that time, you guys remember this, the cameraman leaned over and took a
Yeah,
nice tall shot of him. And Rumley looked at me and said, just a minute, Mike, and walked over to him, tapped him on the shoulder and kicked him in the face and knocked his camera out on the floor.
yeah.
Yeah, the guy was, I don't know, he kicked him and the guy's laying on the ground. And so people are coming over the stands wanting to fight. The camera exploded. They stopped the game to clean it all up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was there.
And it was headline story in the Decatur paper next
Oh,
day.
yeah.
So Rumley came back to the bench, and, looked at me and said, what did you want? I said, nothing.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. And they fired him. By the time of this banquet, they fired him.
Yeah.
And he got up and he said, there's a note on my plate. It said, smile, you're on candid camera. So he did that when he did that banquet, he had been told he was gone.
Mm,
Well, you guys know this woman in the middle.
Mrs. Murray.
Mr. Murray.
yeah, it is
Lucille
a
Murray.
seal. Huh.
Were you guys there when that happened? Did you see it?
I was at
Yeah.
Decatur at that, when that game. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I see two people I know. This must be DARS. That's
Oh,
Jan.
that's, yeah, you know, two of them for sure. You know,
Jan.
Carl Charnetsky and Jan.
Yeah, he was he's a Decatur guy, came to the Tuscola for the plant.
Yeah.
Jan married Steve Allison. There's Bobby Wetzel on the right.
Yeah.
Well, this must be DARSAR, would you guess?
I would guess that's
Probably.
probably right. Bob Wetzel and, well, I can't remember what his mom's name was.
Margaret?
Margaret.
I think it was Margaret.
Yeah.
Married, wound up marrying Monk Hackett, Margaret Hackett.
Marilyn Klein.
Yeah.
Marilyn Klein says, I'm a Jean Thompson and her son, Danny Gear, second from left.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He was the Arcola guy. There we go.
Another flood picture.
Bob, is
Yeah.
your dad station close to this somewhere?
No, this,
Yeah.
this is Nile Street.
This be on the corner of Niles, just that there was a mobile station there that the last person I knew that ran it was from Arcola Anderson, Phil Anderson,
So is this looking,
east.
That's looking east.
well, was that the old McDaniel implement dealership house way down there?
Yes.
Mhm. Boy, how things have changed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I remember that time that was doing it because it got pretty deep down through there where you can see in that truck. Boy, yeah, I guess that would have been McDaniel's implement there with that.
That says Thompson.
Well,
Yeah.
but it was down about across from Jimmy Kleise's building. He had a big white house.
Yeah. I remember where the implement business was because that's when they claim that underneath the IGA, that the old IGA for us, is a lot of old combines and old farm equipment that's buried underneath all that.
Yeah.
Oh.
That may be his building in front, but he was like on the west side of IGA, I think.
No comments on this one. Probably more DAR.
Where was she?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't recognize them.
Mhm.
I knew all those.
Yeah. Marsha, Wish, Norma,
Norma,
Donna, or Norma.
that's Norma.
Okay.
Norma Jean and
Yeah.
Joyce,
Newland and Carol
Shell
Chapman.
Chaplin,
They might have been the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Junior varsity cheerleaders back then. I think Phyllis and Wish were freshman cheerleaders with those three.
Another flood picture.
Yeah. That would be what? Washington and
Yeah.
no, that's Park in Washington.
Whatever goes.
Yeah.
Did Steve Bates live down there in that corner house and his parents right around the corner?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
His sister still lives there, I think, in that brick house.
Okay.
Deb Deem says corner of Scott and Washington
Not Scott, Park.
Park.
Yeah, well,
Well,
Could be Scott coming east to west.
yes. Yeah, that'd be Scott.
Says Bruce and Francis Williams in the background. Photoshop from Chris Hill's parents' yard.
that's about right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
about right. When they used to live there in that house on the corner. Which where that fence is, where you see that corner fence, that's the area that's all taken up now by, well, it used to belong to Ted Leaflighter's dad, and then they sold it off to CIPS. And they built that new office, CIPS office there, or
Not here.
right there.
No,
Yeah,
you're on the wrong corner, aren't you?
no,
Over to the right, north is the CIPS office.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess
just
that's
just to
right.
the
That's
north of
right.
that,
I'm
that
wrong
corner
street.
fence there
They-
was all,
they-
Wrong
Yeah.
street. I'm sorry.
yeah, because there's the apartments
Yeah.
back there.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Danny Harshberger again.
Danny Harshberger?
No, that wasn't it.
That's not Danny.
No, I don't think so.
Arlene Lincoln says, Arcola good citizens, Mrs. Hull and her daughter Sharon, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, and Donnie.
I don't know Donnie Thompson.
No, it's not Thompson. His last name was something else. Dave mentioned it in the other picture where he was. Was it Gear?
Marilyn Klein also says
Right, Donnie Gear.
Mr. and
Gear.
Mrs. Thompson and son Donnie.
Yeah.
She says Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Danny Gear.
Danny Gear.
Right,
He-
different last
he-
name.
I think he
Okay.
was that fifth basketball player that way back when we showed Arcola starting five. Remember, Bob? I couldn't figure out
Yeah.
who that fifth guy was. I think it was
Yeah,
Danny.
could be.
The lady on the left at the is Adele Dotson,
Yes, it is.
and the other one looks like
Is that
Bud
Phyllis?
McCown's wife, isn't it?
Yeah, is
That's
that
what Shirley Quinn says, Helen McCown.
that
Yeah,
Doris White sitting down with a white hat?
that looks like Phil White's wife, isn't it?
Doris, yeah.
Mhm.
This must have been a Republican conflab.
Could have been.
This one, Marlene Lincoln says is Villa Grove good citizens. She must have a program. She has
is.
these names of these good citizen recipients.
These were DARSAR. She was head of that for years, wasn't she, Mitch, Bob?
I think so, yeah.
Probably, yeah. So she says left to right, Mrs. Golden James, Mr. and Mrs. George Flume, seated Yvonne James and John Flume. I'll bet she has a scrapbook that she was. Maybe not. Maybe.
Yeah,
There's Carl and Marie.
Marie, I couldn't think of her first name the other day. They were neighbors for a lot of years,
They were my in-laws for a lot of years.
and they were your in-laws for a lot of years, yeah.
I gave him I gave him a lot of grief.
Mm.
She especially didn't like the way I spent money. She said he waters the lawn with money. I said, well, I'm Irish. That's my mom was the same way. Looks like an Arthur Atwood guy.
Mrs. Lincoln says this is Arthur. Mr. and Mrs. Joe Conlon, Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence Fitzgerald, seated Philip Conlon and Joan Fitzgerald.
Yeah, that's Bobby Wetzel and Harold and Margaret. Yeah.
Sue Wetzel says Ed Wetzel, Bob and Margaret.
Oh, that's
Right, it is Ed Wetzel, not Harold. Yeah,
Bob and Sue.
yeah. Well, it's not Steve though, right?
Let's get the Wetzels. You know what? I'm getting mixed
Right.
up. So,
I get mixed up on them too.
so Bobby there was, his sister was, Sue.
Sue.
Last name Sue. And then, Phyllis Wetzel, she had the mother, wasn't she, Margaret? Bobby, well, no, were there three of them? Was it Bobby, Phyllis, and Sue?
Well, where's Steve fall into that? Steve's
don't-
dad was Harold Wetzel, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I'm a little
Yeah.
fogged up there on Wetzel's. Well,
I don't have any names on this one.
No, I don't.
smoking's still allowed. Yeah, you see it.
Yeah, in the community building. And no names on this one.
No.
That's Bill Blackwell on the right, I think. I could be wrong.
Travis Ron says newspaper clipping from the same, he had the newspaper clipping from the same picture. Says left to right, my grandpa and grandma Merle and Norma and Christian's Ron, baby Carrie Ron, Teresa Ron, Bruce Ron, and the goofy feller on the right is my dad, Kevin Ron.
Okay.
Well, the little boy in the plaid jacket, who's that supposed to be? Bruce Ron?
Well,
The littlest boy with the bow
yeah,
tie.
Bruce Ron, I think.
Yeah. What's the guy's name that works at the courthouse, Mike? That's security.
Well, he's cousins. He lives down at Hugo. Leroy Ron.
Leroy, yeah.
Big Leroy raises cows and stuff. Good
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, nice guy. Can't do you any good there.
Well, Eric Fromm says the far right he thinks is Elner Fromm and himself.
Yeah, I would say that's a good possibility.
Forgot about Mrs. Fromm.
I had two.
That third one from the left looks a little bit like Janine Hall's mom, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say Ron.
Well, we got to give Mike a point. It was creative.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Ron says George Claus Ron in the middle. Two of his sisters that were living, I believe on the left of the picture is Emma Ron Winky, and the one on the right is younger sister Minnie Ron.
Huh. Wild Bill.
Yeah.
First, I miss Bill. There's Phyllis.
Yeah.
So I hope somebody calls us in and straightens us out on Phyllis's. I think Phyllis's mom was Margaret and Mary.
It was.
Mary So the question is, was Phyllis brother to Jim and Sue, or is there another Ron? Do you know?
Not to Jim. You mean to Bob?
Bob and
To
Sue.
Bob and Sue.
Or they just cut.
I think Bob and Sue and Steve are all brothers and sisters.
Well, I know. You know what? I think.
And I think Harold was their dad.
You know what? I think Steve and Sue are brother and sisters. I think Bob and Phyllis are brother and sister.
Well, you might be right.
I don't know. Too many Wetzels and too many Rons.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing I ever knew about, well, talking about Harold Wetzel, my son went on a church mission trip with Harold Wetzel, and they, my son was probably in high school at the time, my youngest, and he got to really know Harold, and he said he's one of the nicest guys that he ever met.
All the Wetzels were, yeah. Steve and Sue's parents were salt of the earth.
Yes, they were.
I know Steve is a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
And Jack Williams there next to Bill. I did not recognize Bill in this picture. He's so much younger than I remember. So
I think
the boy with the glasses with his head turned, I think that's Kenny Culbertson.
And is that Larry next to him? Larry's been, what, 2 years behind Kenny?
I think so. Well, was he in Bill's class?
Kenny Culbertson was.
Kenny, yeah.
Kenny Culbertson had been in Bill's class.
Larry was about 2 or 3 years behind him.
yeah, this of course I remember Jack, but this picture is almost 3 years before I was born. And I'm
Is that Joe Meyer on the right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Top and real black hair.
He's too old. He's too old for that time frame.
Yeah.
Joe wouldn't have been that old at that time.
Bill came right out of Eastern and started coaching at Tuscola, I think. He graduated high school in 53, college in 58. I think by 59, he was coaching grade school.
Mhm.
Yeah,
There's some Rons.
some runs.
Burl on the right.
Yeah,
Yeah, Merle
that
Ron,
is.
all right. We've got Eric Alexander says Norman Ron, George Ron, Etta Ron, and Merle Ron.
Yeah.
We gotta get Eric on the show sometime. But he works on Thursdays.
Would never be able to say anything. Well, I'd like to know who the guy on the right is, because
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's an old picture of Jack Williams.
Mhm.
Bill too. Phyllis.
what was he principal of? Guys, the grade school?
Yeah, I think so. I think he
Yeah.
must have been principal of the grade school.
He from
When
Arthur.
when I was young, he was superintendent. They lived down the street from me.
Yeah,
Well, they hired him as temporary superintendent, I think, when was it LH Mann or whoever quit, and then they did a good job and kept him on. He's a nice guy.
yeah.
There they go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should know about all those.
We all know these guys.
Fred Fair.
I can't remember this
I
guy.
can't remember him
I
either.
remember his face, but I can't remember. And
Arthur
Arthur
Jones.
Jones.
Arthur Jones on the far right.
Yeah.
Mike Yost, or no?
No.
No, that wasn't Yost. I don't know who that. I recognize his face, but I can't put a name with it.
Let me think of his name real quick. It's not Yost. Ingo there with the big T. Jan Jameson, Culberson,
Fred
Fred
Fair.
Fair.
Eddie Fair.
That little round-faced boy there standing in the second one from the right. I recognize his face, but I can't put a name with it.
Well, I know it too. If Ingvar was here, he'd get that one.
Yeah, he would.
He would.
Steve Reardon thinks maybe Mike Hill.
Mike Hill.
There you go.
Right.
That's
That's
right.
it.
That's it.
No, not Mike Yost. Oh, there's
Chuck Durnell.
oh my gosh.
Chuck Durnell and Doug Rice and Stevie Hedinger and looks like Billy Evans.
I think you're right.
And Chuck
Yeah,
looks
I
like a
recognize
fine young
Steve now
man.
that you say his name.
What'd you say, Bob?
I said Chuck looks like a fine young man.
Well, he certainly got me to buy his house. You're buying my house. What am I paying for? 28.5. Can I negotiate? No. That's Mr. Sipe in the middle, isn't it? Is that
Susie Ford says Richard Cooley standing in the middle.
No, that's not. You're thinking Wayne Sipe. That's
I'm
that.
thinking Wayne, that's Spade Cooley, isn't it? Is that what they called him? Worked out the plant.
It's Freddie Jones.
Freddie Jones there to the
Left.
with the
Second
black
one.
tie on. I don't recognize the others.
They might be in the basement of the library there with those.
That's, I thought that would look like the cabinet that's in the basement.
Yeah. We should know the guy on the left. He looks familiar.
Yeah, but I can't put a name to it.
Well, there's Tammy.
Cameron Hill.
Oh yeah, I didn't recognize that. Yeah.
I don't know who that is on the right.
Well, that's I think that's
Oh, that's Linda Callahan, isn't it?
no, I was going to say Linda Moore. Not Linda Moore, Diane Moore.
Yeah, Sandra
Yeah,
Corzine
could be.
thinks Diane.
Yeah,
Moore.
Yeah.
I would say that's right.
And that's a painting they did of Engelhart in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Diane Moore. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
yes,
now. That is
I can
close
see
up
that.
now.
Tammy wound up in New Mexico, professor of English or something down there.
Don't know.
Oh boy.
Jim Helm and Puff and Chucky Turtle.
I don't know who the girl is.
Well, let's look at that for a
Must
second.
be a teacher.
Oh, that's their class.
No,
That's one of their classmates.
Is it?
yeah,
Senator Cappy says Bill Cunningham second left, Jim Helm on left.
mhm.
Yeah.
And Chuck Turnell's holding a loaded gun.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, you didn't mess with Chuck.
I don't know who the girl is though. I couldn't.
Either. That's ours, Eisminger, Timmy
I
Lim.
didn't-
Yeah.
Yeah. Martha Eisenberger on the left, and Sharon Green on the right.
And Ingo on the far left.
Yeah.
Okay, there she just passed away in the middle. Jackie Harvey just died about
Oh, really?
a month ago, had cancer. Sweet girl, really sweet girl.
Yeah.
Not sure on who's the left and right, but that's Jackie in the middle.
Jackie's the only name I had.
Yeah.
There's John Palm. Isn't that John?
No, John Peck.
John Peck,
Yeah, John Peck.
Jimmy Helm, and
Judy.
Judy Ron, Judy
Right. Now.
Wright is her name now, and then I think Regina Michener.
Bob Minear's now who are twins in the Minear family? The two guys, or is Regina one of them?
No, the two boys.
The two boys are twins. Okay.
Are they?
Dorothy
They have a
Field.
girl. Yeah.
Dorothy
Regina was the
Field.
only girl.
She was a girl.
She was the only
They
girl.
could still be a
I heard
twin.
that.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah.
Well, Bob and they don't look alike. I thought they were strange.
No.
Dorothy Fielder thought seated on the left was Barry Kleiss.
Oh, that's John Peck.
No.
No,
John
that's
Peck.
John Peck.
Okay.
This
He
class
lives
is-
he lives down at Arthur. I don't know. I used to see him every once in a while, but
This is class of 66.
yeah.
Yeah, Regina. Okay, this is
Kenny.
this is a
Clayton.
junior-
Yeah.
I was a freshman. These were the sophomores at the time.
Clayton hasn't changed much over the years, you know it.
Probably the same. Stroll's dead. Danny passed away. Forrester was, he emails me a lot. He went over to, he lived in New Zealand, then he went over to Georgia in the last 2 years. He's a professor over there. He sent me a thing of him singing rock songs protesting Russia's communism, saying rock in the USA. And I said, Gary, you're on the border of Russia. They're going to kill you.
Yeah.
About a week later, he said he came back to New Zealand.
Well, he and Danny both did a book reading or something at Flesser's several years ago.
Yeah.
And Gary came down at that time. He was living in Champaign, I think.
He came back as a professor. He was a teacher at the University of Illinois Law School, and he worked with a law firm up there in Urbana. And I got together. He and I wrote a couple of he wrote an editorial in the News Gazette when Bush was elected, saying Bush was an idiot, not qualified to be president.
Mm.
I wrote an article. I said, well, okay, let's come up with a good adjective. You know, moron is someone 8 years old. The numbskull's 10. I said, how about doom call? That's got a Hitlerian flair. Would Gary like that? We had dueling editorials. Gary left Urbana. You know why he left Urbana? Too conservative.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
I said, Gary, it's the Moscow of the Midwest.
Yeah.
Well, Gary said, loves it. And there you go, Mitch.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I dated both of those girls.
I had one date with Janine, and I was a neighbor with Furco. They were cute.
Yeah.
Kids. They were
Well,
cute.
Janie and I were together just about all the way through high school.
I thought you were pretty steady with her.
And then I don't know, remember, I went out with Jeannie a couple times. Both of them just super kids. They were really good girls. Jane, I always tell the story that Janie was, we were not just boyfriend and girlfriend. We actually grew up together. I mean, I remember when she was killed in a car accident down there in Carbondale, I was in basic training. In fact, I was even married. And I was the only time I ever had KP duty, and I was cleaning garbage cans. And I found out that she had passed away, and I cried the whole day because she was a sweetheart.
They tell the story. We lived kind of catty corner by the Brookside with her parents, and my sister was best friends with Jeannie, her sister. And when she was a freshman at Southern, I guess Mr. Furco got mad at her for doing something, and he wrote her a letter. And we could see on the table, he pressed so hard, we could still almost read it in the wood. He was. Janine is also somebody that looks almost like they did in high school. She
hasn't changed much, really. Yeah.
Cute as a button.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the oldest sister of Jane, Fran? Do you know?
Well, Francine was
Francine.
the oldest. She was about class of 61 or 2, I think. Jeannie was 63.
Right.
And
Jane's 66. So
I think Francine's still, I've not heard anything about her. I
I
remember,
don't know. I was going to try to look her up on Facebook to see if I could figure out, but I have no idea what her married name. Seemed to me like she married a guy that was in the Air Force when they got married.
you know, Jeannie married Alan Jones, and I think they're down they moved down, I think either Texas or Arizona near their daughter or something. I think.
Arizona's where they're. I think they come back and forth every once in a while.
I
I saw them both down at the little theater one night years ago.
Well, she was an English teacher. He was a principal. They're very literary minded.
Oh
And
yeah,
their tombstone's out here at the cemetery, and it's got a quote from Shakespeare.
yeah.
I remember when he died or she died, we went to Altamont to the funeral when one of the parents died. I don't know, they moved to Altamont. And I don't know,
Right. Well, that's where Fran was at. I ran into the mother, Fran Furco. My uncle and aunt had moved into a retirement center out of Altamont, and we were up there seeing them. And it turned out that Fran lived in the room right across the hallway. So I went over and spent about an hour with her talking to her.
Yeah.
But,
it was a great family. They were very, you go over and visit their house. They were very friendly.
oh yeah,
Is this the South Ward gym?
This is North Ward.
yeah. This is the old Northward gym.
Old
Yeah.
North Ward?
Yeah, they put I told Engelhard, they put those metal screens up because he would shoot baskets on the side. And they had,
Mhm.
remember those side baskets? They had a couple of them.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So is this the second North Ward then?
This is the old North Ward, not the old North Ward.
This is the old high school. The old high school.
Right, the old high school. 'Cause I don't remember those bricks in that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, those glazed tile brick.
Yeah.
You know, I had a question for you, Mitch. You're a materials guy.
Mhm.
You know, in the high school, they had those glazed ceramic bricks. I don't know why
Right.
they drywalled over them. Those things be there for 4,000 years, won't they?
Yes, they would have been, unless the grout between those
Yeah,
what got soft and got bad, and
you can regrout them, I guess. But that's I remember these old dairy buildings I see that are 200 years old. That ceramic brick's going to be there forever.
yes, it is. Yep, it was all fired. I guess the way they did those is they poured them and then they fired them to get that glaze on them. It's the only way I know. So,
Yeah, it would be there forever.
yeah. Well, the girl on the right is a Jordan,
Yeah.
was her name, and the one on the left, I should know her too, but I can't come up with a name. Oh, she's not a. Oh, gosh, they lived up there by you, Mike, didn't they? The gal in the gray sweater,
Help me out.
Inslee.
Well, that's Meredith Inslee's younger sister.
Younger sister.
Maxine.
Sister, yeah.
Maxine.
Yeah.
They lived right across the street west from the Brookside. They were on that.
Yep.
Two houses away from. Yeah, that was Meredith married Lonnie Von Lincoln's brother, and this is
Yeah.
her sister. Yeah.
Yeah, Carla Reedy says Maxine Inslee and Joyce Jordan.
Joyce Jordan. I knew it was Jordan was her last
I had
name.
a younger sister named Jan. I had a date with Jan. I think might have been a freshman. We were seniors.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are.
Knew all I got.
Those are the junior members of the basketball team who helped Richard Perrin, who I think is over in Atwood, isn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Still alive.
Cooley. Now, did they nickname him Spade Cooley, or is that his dad?
I always knew it was Charles Cooley.
His dad was Spade, and that's of course the famous Junior Barbie. Always
Junior Barbary. And I heard that he lives in Danville.
lives in Tilton.
Tilton. Okay.
Yeah, he lives over in Tilton, and he was a Union guy. Just a great, colorful story. Junior's a great guy. The whole
The high
Barbie,
school gym when they had water fountains in the gym.
yeah, the whole Barbie family was a great family. Yeah, see the water fountains back there.
Yeah.
Well, they lived up there around you too.
Well,
Did
we lived at 402 North Niles, and his uncle, the old Barbie family, the one with Dale and all the brothers,
Right.
lived just south of us, that old house, and we tore it down, Dad and Mom built that house in 61. Quentin Weber built it.
Yeah.
Isn't he related to Daryl Ferris?
Yeah, Daryl Ferris' cousin, because right across the street was Junior's family moved in across the street in a little house. Yeah, that's Daryl's cousin. Daryl and I talk about Junior a lot.
Somebody said that he periodically comes back to Flesser's, and I asked if anybody knew. He said, "Well, we see people all the time, but we don't necessarily know their names." But they said every once in a while he'll come into Flushers.
Daryl?
Yeah.
Or Barbie.
Junior Barbie.
Yeah, I talked to you. I had, not to gross anybody out, but about 15, 20 years ago, I had a colonoscopy, and the nurse was Junior Barbie's ex-wife.
Uh-huh.
Evidently, while I was halfway out, we talked about Junior. So later, when I was in the recovery room, and after all that fentanyl stuff, you're just loony. And she walks in and says, Junior and I still are good friends, and I want to call him and tell him I met one of his buddies. Do you care? Do you waive the privilege? I said, there are no secrets between Junior Barbie and me. I yelled it out, and she just looked at me and walked out. I was out of it, man. I was out of it. Oh, there they are.
Boy, there,
Yeah.
yeah.
The two freshman guys that played, and they were our junior varsity cheerleaders. Don, I don't know where John got the black eye.
Yeah.
Two quick stories you probably never heard about. Don probably could have been all-state football player, and he didn't play. He tore his knee up his junior year, ACL. And his dad, the family met and said, we got to decide, you're going to play football and risk it, or are you going to concentrate on basketball, maybe get a college scholarship and go places? Don decided not to play football. He had to go tell Bucko, and he said it really broke his heart because he didn't go out his junior year, and nobody knew why. But Don told me the story was they just made the family decision that his football really tore him up. The other guy that would have been all-state football, I hope you guys agree, would be Lonnie Von Lincoln.
Yeah,
Good
well,
chance. Yeah.
yeah, Lonnie was fat. Lonnie was really fast.
Well, he was strong, he was tough, but he would go out for passes. He'd have been great. But his dad made him pick only two sports because they got to harvest crops and stuff. And so Lonnie was forced to pick. He picked track where he was very fast, and basketball where he was captain of our team.
Yeah.
But those two guys, great, great football players.
You want to give the names left to right, Mike?
Well, that's Joyce Newland, Donna Baird. That's
Norma Jean.
Norma Jean.
That's Studs Turkle, the third one in from the left.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Reach Dunn, Big Don Fortney, Carroll Chaplin, and Marcia Truitt. Nobody you know what? I got to be the most changed of all, don't you think? Nobody would recognize me from these photos.
I would say that's
Yeah,
a good
probably
possibility.
I
I didn't
look
realize how close you were to Don in height.
We were both 6'3.5".
Yeah, both of you. I thought Don was always taller than you were.
No, Don was always stronger than I was.
Well, you can see the build is a little different.
Seventh grade, I was 5'6", and by my freshman year, I was 6'3". So Mom took me to Dr. Deaver and says, what's wrong with him? He says, he's growing up.
Mhm.
But Don was quite an athlete. And we had, my senior year at 6'3.5", I was the next to shortest guy on the team.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mark Bright was 6'5.5". Hooter was 6'4.5". Don was like 6'3.5", 6'4", and I was 6. And Lonnie was 6'1".
Yeah, Lonnie could outjump all of you.
Yeah, Lonnie was the guy. He was the guy.
You said Carroll Chaplin. Sharon Cappy says Carroll Chapman.
Chaplin. No, it's Lin.
Chaplin.
Fine. Okay, Chaplin. Okay.
Roger Chaplin was her brother. Roy was her brother, and Roger was her brother. 3 brothers.
And Barb Reinhardt says, Mike Fortney, is that a black eye?
No, that's Don Fortney.
I think she's asking.
Oh, asking me. I
Yeah.
hit him. I didn't think I left a mark when I hit him. No, Don.
Was it Carroll Chapman?
I don't know if Don got hurt in a basketball game. We threw elbows back then pretty hard.
Chambers.
She married Chet Chambers.
Yeah, she married Chet Chambers. I couldn't remember the
Johnny Chambers.
brother. He's deceased.
Yeah, there they are. That's Gene Murray. So we were a little taller, and Gene was about 6'1", 6'2". Gene was a force of nature back then, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You ever tangle with him and dodge the ball or anything?
No, I think he was the PE teacher when I got into a fight with a kid because he kept stealing the basketball from me, and I elbowed him in the mouth. And that's the only fight I was ever in my life, I think. But I wasn't that great of a basketball player, and he kept stealing the ball from me. And I thought, well, the next time he comes around to get the ball, I'm going to take care of that. and I did, and that's when all hell broke loose.
You might not have been much of a basketball player, but I wasn't much of a fighter because in my life, I picked a fight with Don in grade school and I picked one in Lonnie my senior year and I got whacked both times.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this next picture, somebody obliterated one of the faces.
Yeah, yeah.
Negative.
Who hated me?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's Mike behind
They
that.
scratched him
Yeah.
out. That's probably one of those girls you dated.
Well, I didn't mean to break her up. That may have been
Yeah.
on the black eye.
Yeah.
So there's only one, let me see seniors. There are two seniors there. Mark Bunning with Jim Manwaring.
Yeah.
Pete Green was a junior. Louis was
Yeah.
a junior. Eddie was a junior. You know how many people have passed away in that photo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No
Four of
kidding.
those people have passed away. Jim Manwaring died 2 months ago. Louis died, what, 5-10 years ago?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bob, probably 15, 20 years ago, cancer. And then Eddie died 10, 20
Eddie
years
died quite a while ago too.
I think he went to Peoria. He and his brother Bill had a gas station up in Peoria, and I think
Peoria.
Yeah.
Ronnie went to work with him for a few years.
Yeah.
I could have
Pete-
told Ronnie that wasn't going to work out well.
Pete Green's still alive.
He and his two brothers have a counseling. I think they used to have two psychiatrists, and Pete was a PhD in psychology. All of them
Yeah.
out in
California.
Washington or Oregon or
No, I think well, you might be right. I was thinking it was California.
or Seattle or something like that. But
Yeah.
all great athletes, all great top of the class.
Yep.
We give all the names. Sue Wetzel says standing Lewis Leitz, Bob Wyatt, Don Fortney. Then she's got a question mark, but that's Mike Carroll. Then kneeling, Dwayne, Pete Green, Jim Manwaring, Marcus Bunting, and Ed Alexander.
Yep.
You know, let's clear up the Wetzel thing right now. I think you're right. I think Sue and Steve, their parents live south of town about a couple miles there. And
That's right. That's right.
I think Margaret Wetzel, who wound up marrying Monk Hackett, is Bob and Phyllis.
I think you're right. I think
There
you're
you
right.
go.
I think I finally got it right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There we go. Marcus, you know, was a scientist down at Los Alamos in New Mexico. Probably should be in the Hall of Fame, but I talked to him about putting him in. He said, I'd have to kill you if you told what I did. They did nuclear war scenarios.
Yeah.
He's in the Hall of-
Is Marcus still living?
Yeah. His wife, Brenda Stewart, died probably, what, 10, 15 years ago?
Oh, okay.
He got
Okay.
married, and they got a daughter who's a doctor in Texas, I think, in Dallas,
Yeah.
surgeon. I don't know if Jimmy Manwaring had any kids or not. He's one of our famous, you know, we got to write a book on chicken bristle, famous Tuscola graduate from chicken bristle.
Yeah. From
There's
Chicken
probably
Whistle,
the world's leading expert in water, and then 3-time Olympian Linda Matheny's from chicken bristle.
Yeah.
There's some others out there.
Don't forget Roger Anger.
Roger Ingram,
Roger Ingram, Reader,
Reader.
Dale Reader.
Trotz Reader, great guys.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'm not even sure what the boundaries of chicken bristle are. I mean,
There are no boundaries.
that's what makes it famous, huh?
That's right.
It and Sulphur Springs.
Yeah, but Bob Wyatt was, of course, the Wyatt family came into town. Tornado took their house out, right? Just east of town.
Yep.
Yep.
63.
And Bob had an older brother, Craig, who's died. Ebba's dead. I think Misty's the only one left in the.
Yeah.
But Bob was very bright, and like I say, became a scientist for DuPont. Clayton Harris, real good friends with him, would see him, but Clayton talked about he got a black spot somewhere on his neck, and doctor knew it and said, let's watch it. And it turned out to be a melanoma thing, and it kept growing inside. He died.
Mm.
So from left, we've got the names Marcus Bunting, Jim Manwaring, Coach Don Rumley, and Bob Wyatt.
That's right.
Yeah.
Rumley became a lawyer, and when I was a judge, I appointed his son to a case down. He was a Champaign lawyer. And I pointed him down to, we had a Mexican drug ring with eight defendants, and I had to get some lawyers, and I dug out Don's son. And basically I pointed him, so I called him back in the bench and talked to him about Don, about his dad who had passed away. He was a ferocious guy.
Yes, he was.
He didn't mess. I tell a story in football. I don't know if Bobby remembers this or not. We were sophomores, juniors, but Rumley was a junior football coach and Buckle and Murray were the head. And so we were going against the varsity and Rumley would call a play and the quarterback at the time, I won't give his name, but he was a year ahead of us, didn't run the play. So he called him back and said, now listen, did you not hear me? And he laughed at him. He said, you better call a play this time, buddy. At him. They ran again. He didn't run that play again. So then as he walked back toward Rumley, he was laughing at him and Rumley grabbed him with a face mask and just twisted as hard as he could and actually kind of flipped him onto the ground. And he jumped up like he wanted to fight Rumley. And Rumley looked at him and Rumley says, get out of here. You're done with football. I looked over at Buckle and Murray and they didn't say a word. I don't know if you remember that, Bob, or not. And he walked off.
I don't remember that one.
He walked off the field and that was the end of his career. I think even Buckle and Murray respected
That well, that would have had to have been our freshman year because he was gone after our freshman year.
Well, you're right. He was a sophomore quarterback then at the time.
At the time, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would know it if I told you who it was, but don't want to embarrass anybody. But
No.
I just
No.
thought Bucko was surely overriding. You know, that was
Yeah, I thought so.
remember his quarterback. So Alan Hall got to start the next year.
Yeah.
How's Alan doing? How's our classmate doing?
Well, I haven't heard too much. Jim Wright usually keeps us sort of posted. As far as I know, he's planning on coming to our get together on the 23rd. And he seemed to be doing pretty good. Jim said he'd been out doing some exercises and some walking and some stuff like that to try to get himself back in. But Jim always thought, he said, I always thought he was in pretty good shape. But
Well, I thought he was probably the youngest of everybody in our class. He looked the healthiest.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But
Yes.
of course, you know, what it looks like on the inside and what on the outside, you never know, I guess.
That sound right, Bob, that he can come back that soon to the reunion, you think, based on
Oh,
your?
heck yes.
Oh, okay.
Because 3 weeks to the day after I had mine, the doctor said, you can go back to work.
Oh, boy.
I said, I don't want to because I'm retiring in 2 months.
Doc, you would double check that pumping action?
Yeah. So,
Mitch,
but you know, I was 17 years younger too at the time.
no, I'll tell you what, the older you get, it
Makes a difference.
In fact, I've had 2 or 3, my dad had 2 brothers that never got out of anesthesia, Myron and Marion.
And no,
And they put them under and they never could get them back out.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, back in those days, you had to have a little strength to survive. It was risky anesthesia back then.
yeah,
Sure.
it was.
Mitch, what are you up to now? About 50?
Oh, you're at, yeah. I called in reservations for 40.
Okay.
And I think there will be more. I think what we will have, I think you're going to have a lot of people just come, drop by. We're going to be there for 4 hours. So if you know, I asked for reservations for if they wanted to eat lunch so that I could give Devin a little bit of heads up on how many people there. And then, but I've had several people that say, well, they didn't know that they could make it for lunch, but they'd be there. They'd try to drop by. So,
well, she always cooks about double.
yeah. Johnny Edmiston, I got a note from Johnny, and he's going to try. He said they can't come for lunch, but they'll try to be there sometime.
Johnny. Kathy,
It's pretty disappointing. There was an email and Carroll Schroed and Mary Toomey had both responded to it. They were both going to stay out at the Holiday Inn. Since then, Carol's decided she's not going to stay, but they called out there. They said it was $120 a night plus taxes, but because it was a weekend, it would be $320.
Tuscola.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Put them up, Mitch. You got an extra.
Huh?
Put them up. You got an extra bedroom.
Yeah. Well, you know, I can relate to that. On one of my jaunts down to my son's down in Louisiana, I usually stay in Marion, Arkansas, which is just outside of Memphis. And I got in there, I don't know, I think we were there on a Thursday, and the rate was, you know, pretty reasonable. I think it was $106 or something like that. And I came back through and I was going to stay there on my way back, which happened to be a weekend, and the rates had gone crazy. You know, they were like $195 as opposed to $106. And
Well,
So-
can't they go to Mattoon or something, or Arcola? That's a nice place in Arcola. That Best Western's a good place to stay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
There are some bed and breakfasts in town too.
right.
Airbnb, not bed and breakfast, but Airbnb.
Well,
I
mention,
was, I was thinking in that note that Carroll sent that it was 325 for the weekend. Like she was gonna stay all weekend or something, but maybe whatever. Doesn't make any difference. It's still pretty pricey for Tuscola, but
we got some flying in. Kathy's Rice.
yeah.
Hey,
Rots is coming out from.
while you're on there, I just got a note from Heligoss. Pat O'Loughlin passed away.
Oh, Pat, that's too bad.
Yeah.
It's up in Rockford.
You
Oh,
go-
he's in Rockford. I thought he used to live around here.
He did. I gave him a ride home one day from.
Yeah.
Talked to him a little bit. Mike's up at Tolono, I think, his brother. I don't know where's his sister at.
I don't know.
She was class of '64, I think.
Yeah, Kathy. Kathy was her name. Yeah. I think Pat's got a daughter that still lives around here, though. She used to live out there
Yes. he
just to
does.
the east side. It was out in Meadowview, just to the east side of the old IGA.
That's too bad. We're pushing 25%, I think, about.
Yeah, well, that's pretty damn lucky considering we're 78, 79 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I told my eye doctor today. They're giving these diabetic shots and stuff to try and.
Right.
He said, we can get rid of the bad stuff. He said, but we can't make the good stuff any better. I said, what are you saying? He said, this eye is what you're going to have for the rest of your life. And I said, I've been told that by every one of my doctors that I'm dealing with. I said, welcome to 78. And he said, yeah, welcome to life. That's
Yeah, welcome to life is right.
what you got is
Well,
what you got.
I hate to rush us, but I need to wrap up and
Okay, guys,
Okay.
I enjoyed it, guys.
Good, good to visit. Good to visit.
yep, thanks a lot.
We'll see you next Thursday. I'll see you a week from Saturday at Gus's.
Yep,
Yep.
that'd be great.
That'd be
We'll
good.
see you
Do I
next
need
week.
to bring you
on-
money, Mitch?
Just to pay for your meal.
I was hoping Lek would cover everything.
Well, yeah, I sent him a note, so maybe he'll be there. We'll hope so.
I'm just kidding. I'll look forward to seeing both you guys there.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
See you,
All right.
Mike.
Take
See you
care,
next
Mike.
week on
Take care,
Remembering
David.
Tuscola. Yep, see it. Thanks.
See you, David.
See it.